This is Troger MC, and yes, as promised, I'm going to make a revised list for my favorite horror franchises. And yeah, this time we're going to do some different stuff here. I'm not going to do a top 13. I give myself some more rules. Um, this time around, there are top 10. I excluded franchises that only had two entries. I was like, you got to have at least three. Just to be fair to the other franchises. And then I was also doing a thing of, instead of like comparing my favorites and like just my favorites, it was a thing of my favorites and my least favorites and like ranking all of them. Like, how good do I think the entire series is, not just a couple movies that I like. So I kind of reworked some things. You'll see some stuff different, and you also see a franchise that wasn't on the initial list, but it is now because I've now seen movies with that. But regardless, let's get started. So, coming in at number 10 is actually Hellraiser. And yeah, Hellraiser, I would say, is number 10 just because of, well, we have to be honest here. Not all of these movies are very good. Some of them are really bad. There are three Hellraiser movies that I would say are my top 10 list of least favorite horror movies ever. Okay, so there are some really bad ones, there are some really good ones, then there are some where it's just like, it's all right. So yeah, Hellraiser, it's cool. I mean, I still like it, but yeah, I got to be fair with the other franchises and all that. So yeah, this is my number 10 pick is Hellraiser. Then coming in at number 9, we got Chucky, Child's Play, whatever. Child's Play 2 specifically. That one's my favorite. Yeah, so Child's Play, I mean, it's cool. I like the movies for the most part. Not a fan of the TV show. And with the new direction that we could be going with this upcoming movie, could be a thing if it's really good or it's really bad. I don't know. But yeah, as it stands, I think Child's Play is really cool, really fun. Definitely, definitely some highlights there. I really like the character of Charles Lee Ray and all of that. And I even thought the remake was pretty cool. So, yeah, it's cool. Just, I like other ones more. So, Child's Play is my number 9 pick. Then coming in at number 8, Terrifier. Yes, Terrifier. My favorite is easily the original. Yeah, so Terrifier, what more is there to say? Like I said the last time around, if you don't like this series, totally get it. I mean, this series is not for everyone. I can totally understand if you're watching this series and you're like, I can't stand Terrifier. That's not my thing at all. I get it, okay? I completely understand. But I really like the first one. I mean, I think the first one is really cool, and I really don't think enough people talk it up. But regardless, you got the second one, which I think is all right, and then you got the third one, which I didn't care for the third one, but the first one is really cool, and also Art the Clown, my favorite horror villain. So there you go, points for that. But yeah, Terrifier is my number 8 pick. Then coming in at number 7 was a franchise that I admittedly the last time around I put this franchise like really low down on the list. And yeah, we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. So to all of you Nightmare fans that may have watched my initial video and were like, how could you put it so low? I reassessed some things, okay? Like I said, I looked at the good and the bad of each franchise, and I was like, my least favorite movies in Freddy Krueger's world, they're not that bad compared to some of the other ones. Like, there are some terrible Hellraiser movies, okay, and stuff like that, of like, So I gotta be fair. Of my least favorites, they're not bad, okay? Still not my favorite, some movies I might not ever watch again, but still, they're pretty good. And, like I said the last time around, I'm mainly just a fan of the first movie. I think the first movie is incredible and one of the best movies ever made and all of that. And there are a couple other movies in this that I really like. I think Freddy Krueger is an interesting character. I like Nancy Thompson. So all of that, there are some good things going for it. It's just that, like I said, for the most part, the franchise is just like, it's all right, but it's not really my thing. So yeah, it's mainly the original movie. I do have some fun with a couple of the other movies, but yeah, so Nightmare on Elm Street is there, so it's my number 7 pick. So then coming in at number 6, you're probably going to be surprised by this too, because again, I had to evaluate the good and the bad, and last time around this was my second favorite, but I had to be honest here. I gotta call it what it is. Halloween And yes, I know it's controversial, but this is my favorite of the Halloween movies. I know, y'all already clicked off the video just by me pulling this up, but regardless, Halloween, it's really cool. I like the choose your own adventure element. I mean, I still think that that's a really cool thing, but we have to be honest here and say that, like, that there are some good movies and there are some really not so good movies in there. And yeah, and we all have different opinions of I like this movie, I don't like this movie, and yeah. So I mean, I certainly have my opinions. I mean, just like I said, just me pulling this up and being like, I think this one's pretty cool. You're probably like, how dare you? But yeah, regardless, so this is my number 6 pick. It's cool, like I said. Just got to reevaluate here. I gotta call it what it is. But yeah, Halloween is my number 6. So then coming in at number 5, you're going to witness one of the annals of American history with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes, the original is my favorite. But yeah, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's cool. I like it. I like the character of Leatherface, and this was a series that I didn't touch for the longest time, because I was essentially like, I think I kind of get the premise. I mean, they're cannibals. The main guy has like some mental issues, and he runs around with the chainsaw. I was like, I think I already got it. But then after watching all of the movies, I was like, this series is actually a lot better than I initially thought. And to the people that say like, oh yeah, this is one of the best horror movies ever, it's one of the best franchises, I get it. Okay, I didn't get it for the longest time because I was like, I think I know what that is. I didn't know what it was. I actually really like it. So yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is above Halloween for me. So there you go. Leatherface over Michael Myers, I guess, even though I think Michael Myers is a way more interesting character. But yeah, so number 5, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then coming in at number 4, we're going to visit Crystal Lake, my boy Jason. Friday the 13th, and yes, the remake is my favorite. For the longest time, it was Jason Lives, but I gotta be honest here, I like the remake better. But regardless, so yeah, we got Jason, we got Friday the 13th. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. I mean, Jason Voorhees is actually my favorite character out of any movie ever, so yeah, points for that. It also gets points for, being what it is. I mean, like some franchises try to be things that they're not, and it seems really off. But with Friday the 13th, it's pretty straightforward. And so I like that. There are a lot of movies with Friday the 13th that are like pretty good, and like a lot of them are just kind of the same thing, but they're solid. There aren't really. I mean, there are a couple Friday the 13th movies I'm not a fan of, but for the most part, they're like pretty solid to really good. So yeah, that's why that is my number 4 pick. So yeah, if you're a Jason fan, let me know in the comments, okay? It's like, yeah, I like Jason. I put Jason over Halloween, okay? Now, coming in at number 3, we have The Newcomer. And if you didn't see my video of saying that I was going to do this video, I only have one thing to say. I want to play a game. Saw. Yes, and Saw 2 is my favorite. So, yeah, Saw is really cool. Like I said, I didn't see any of these movies for a very long time. Because I was basically like, I think I got it. Okay, I understand the premise. It's it's an interesting concept. I don't know how that would work in a movie. I watched all the movies and I was like, that works. Okay, I really like it. And the people that are like, oh yeah, the original Saw is like one of the biggest underdog like stories in like horror. Of like the first movie was made on such a low budget and became this massive hit, and then like all the sequels and all of that. So like, I get it. Okay, and the biggest thing for me. You'll notice this with my number 2 and number 1, but the biggest thing that put these top 3 above all of these other ones was the fact of like with my top 3, all of the movies in the franchise I like. Okay, it's not a thing of I like these, but I don't like that one. It's a thing of with this one and then my number 2 and number 1, I like all the movies in there. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of ranking it off of. If you ask me, like tomorrow of like, which do you like better, Saw or Friday the 13th? I might say Friday the 13th, but for now, this is what I'm going with. I'm going with Saw as my number 3 pick. So really cool. I can't really say anything that hasn't already been said, but yeah, so Saw is my number 3 pick. Then coming in at number 2, boy, Phantasm. Yes. I am a huge Phantasm fan. I mean, I like it a lot. I think it's really cool. Really interesting and also underrated. I've found like there are some people in in they're really into horror movies. They're like, I've actually never seen a Phantasm movie before, and I'm like, bro, you gotta change that. These movies are cool, and there are only 5 of them. So yeah, and I know it's controversial to say like, oh, you like all of these, you even like Ravager. Yes, I like Ravager. I just don't like it as much as some of the other ones. But yeah, so all 5 of these movies I think are pretty cool, and if you're wondering which one's my favorite, it is the original. But yeah, so Phantasm, really cool. You want to hear my thoughts on this? I did do a video of ranking the Phantasm movies, so if you want to check that out, you can. But yeah, so Phantasm is my number 2, and this should come as no surprise. My number 1 is still what it was last time. Scream. Yes, my favorite is the original. For a while it wasn't, but I had to think about it objectively, and I was like, nah, the first one's the best. But regardless, Scream. Again, what more is there to say that hasn't already been said? And even when some of the later movies came out, like Scream 6 came out, it was kind of divisive. I was like, I still liked it. And then Scream 7 came out and it was really divisive. A lot of people saying, oh, this one's terrible. It's easily the worst. And, it's the only bad one out of all of them. It was like, I can acknowledge that it has some bad elements, but I still really like it. So, yeah, my number 1 is Ghostface, Scream. What's your favorite scary movie? Yeah, so I like Scream. But yeah, that's my number 1. So there you go. That is my new list. I've been meaning to do this. I wasn't a fan of how the first video turned out, but yeah, so there you go. Here it is. So there we go. But yeah, so that's it. If y'all want to see more content like this, you can let me know. I mean, leave a like. Let me know in the comments of like, I agree with that, or I disagree with that. You should have had, such and such is the best one, or this one's my favorite, this one's my least favorite, or whatever it might be. That's the cool thing, is that I want to have conversation. It's not just a thing of I'm right and you're wrong. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to do with this. I'm just saying, hey, this is what I think. And honestly, like I said, I mean, like tomorrow I might change my opinion. I'll be like, I like this one more than that one. But regardless, today that is my list. So yeah. And if y'all want to see more content like this, you can definitely subscribe. Stay tuned for other stuff. I do have other stuff planned. But other than all that, I do hope you enjoyed. I hope they'll see you all later.